All right. I'm going to wait for a couple people to jump on, and then we'll get started. Hi, James. James is here. Let's see. Let me get our this going. Okay, so tonight I want to talk about magic and our superpowers. So this is like a larger topic. Obviously, it's not something that we can cover in just one session or one sitting, but I want to at least get started. Magic and superpowers are kind of the same thing, all right? Everybody has all of it. Women, of course, women's intuition, women have this magical, intuitive sense that is something that comes with the territory, right? It's the fact that we can give birth, we carry life, but men also have magic. Men also have superpowers. So it isn't just us. It's not just females. This is across the board. So superpowers go beyond our five senses. The five senses being what we all know, right? See, hear, smell, taste, even touch, right? But these superpowers go beyond that. They're what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we sense. And that is all done, for lack of better words, intuitively, okay? This is what I do. It's what everyone is capable of doing. Hi, Linda. Everyone's capable of it. It just looks different for all of us. But more importantly, we are spiritual beings first. And this physical body can weigh us down. And we'll do things to numb ourselves when we're in this physical body because it weighs us down. Our anxiety, sometimes our dreams will even express that heaviness we feel in body, that struggle, that just feeling lost, feeling stuck. That's the spirit in the physical body. It's not easy being in a physical body. It's not easy being human, never mind being on planet Earth. That is really, Yogi Bhajan used to call it a one-star hotel. You know, it is a planet that is filled with strife and struggle. And what makes it even harder for us is when we are detached from our magical essence or detached from our superpowers or our super senses, right? So when we are detached from our higher consciousness, when we are detached from our spiritual, who we are as spiritual beings, and we only relate to the physical body, the brain, what we can see, what we can touch, what we can know with our head, what makes sense. This tends to exaggerate all of the frustrations we already feel because we're locked in this and we have to believe it, we have to see it, or we have to hear it, or it's not real. Yet, when we die, before we come into body, we're spiritual beings first. Our consciousness is what exists first. And our consciousness exists without a physical body, whether that physical body is a plant, an animal, or human, or a rock, whatever that physical body is, we are consciousness no matter what. If we choose to step into a body as an animal, as a plant, as a human, as a rock, great. But if we choose not to step into body, then we are simply our essence, our spiritual beings, our consciousness. So to determine what your super sense is or your superpower, you have to be heightened, your senses heightened to these subtle experiences in your life. Everybody has had a moment of, oh my God, I thought of you when you called. Oh my God, I thought of that and it happened. I had this feeling. I just knew. And unfortunately, for some of us, those feelings come only at really scary or tragic times. But for some of us, we are sensitive enough that we notice it more often in the more mundane times. So for those of you that only experience it in some of the more painful times, I want you to be able to tap into it all the time, okay? Meditation is the way to do it. Meditation is the only way to do it, because your superpowers or your super senses aren't something that you can think through. It's not something that you can create with your mind. Now, when we are coming into these superpowers or super senses, yeah, sometimes we will use imagination for sure. But this is about feeling, sensing, knowing without reason, knowing without being able to say 1 + 1 = 2. That's how I know. Knowing is this overall sense of just, it's like, how I've been trying to think of a way to describe knowing. Knowing meaning when you know your super senses are working, when you know your intuition. So when you have that gut feeling, like, would you say you're just, it's different from what goes on up here, right? When you have that knowing, that gut feeling, your whole body knows it. It's just standing in front of you. It's like it just is, right? It's kind of like if someone were to say, you let's say you have a sister, and you know that's your sister because she looks just like you. She looks just like your mom. She looks just like your dad. She's clearly your sister, right? How do you know she's your sister? Let's say she's older than you. You weren't there when your mom gave birth. You don't know. There's pictures, maybe there's not. There's a knowing that you have. If you ever allowed yourself to really think about, how do you know that's your sibling? It's a knowing that you have with that sibling. It's a knowing. It's not something that is tangible. You just feel it. So that is what we want to tap into. So your super sense, your superpowers combined is the same thing as your magic. And a lot of people, so many people have said to me, I'm too scared of it. It's, this has happened or that's happened. I didn't want to feel it again. It freaked me out. Okay, so I understand it's scary, but that's because you have allowed yourself to consume with yourself only with your physical senses. You have allowed the trappings of your physical body to guide you and lead you and tell you and dictate, instead of having your senses, your heightened senses, the knowings, seeing, hear, feel. So allowing those to guide you. So if you have no clue, if you're like, I have no idea, I don't know what my super sense is or what my superpower is, same thing, I'm just kind of interchanging the words. If you have no idea, okay. Hi, Jamie, thank you for the compliment. If you have no idea what that is, what you want to do is get yourself into a daily practice, because you know that I will always preach that. You have to have a meditation practice. That's the only way any of this is ever going to work, okay? Even if that daily practice is just 1 minute every day, I'll take it. So once you have that 1 minute practice where you're retraining yourself how to honor the silence, honor the quiet, that void within, you will start to go throughout your day and just notice when you feel things. Like, you will start to notice, let's say you're talking to a coworker, and they're just venting to you about this or that or this or that, and they're all upset. And you're there, you're helping, supporting, listening, you're into it, and you walk away and your stomach's upset all of a sudden. And you're like, that's weird. Why does my stomach all of a sudden hurt? You'll start to notice that because you just allowed all of her energy to just move into the belly, because the belly is where we absorb, okay? You've allowed all that energy to move into the belly, and you'll realize, oh man, that's not mine, that's hers. Okay, so now your super sense or your superpower or your magic is one that is capable of manipulating, utilizing, feeling energy. Important to note, I feel from my experience doing this my entire existence, since I remember being able to speak, we all can see, hear, feel. Okay. It just happens differently. So for example, there are psychics that are very visual and they're like, I see this, and they can just spell it, you know, dark hair, tall, 6'3", longish, you know, longish hair, this, that, blah, blah, blah. That's not really how I work. Every now and then I'll get super crazy specific like that, but I feel, I hear, and I experience. But as I'm getting older, I notice that I can start to see. I tell you this because we're all the same. So you are also able, it's just, don't focus on all of them. Just what's the strongest sense? Just what's the strongest sense? I'm gonna give you a throw a wrench in this, but I'm gonna answer Linda's question. Linda said, growing up, I could hear what people didn't hear. Okay, so Linda, for you, I hear too. I'm gonna throw a wrench in all of this though. So Linda, you knew already you could hear things. For those of you that are like, I have no idea. I have no idea what my super sense is, what my superpower is, what my magic is. I have no idea. I'm gonna throw this at you. Tell me, or tell yourself, an ailment you carry. Let me give you an example. When I started to come into hearing as a little girl, very early on, I would get ear infections. As I was coming into my super sense, my superpower, it was coming through my ears. And I had ear infections like crazy. Tubes in my ears. They put me in a straitjacket to hold me down as a kid to put these tubes in my ears. It was horrific. But it was all because I was hearing. So I'm going to challenge you to say, if you don't know what your super sense is, think about an ailment you've grown up with, belly, stomach problems, or ear infections, sinus, which is seeing, right? What is it that you noticed growing up that you had that that was just always a constant problem for you? Maybe it was toothaches or throat, right? So there's so many ways you can find your super sense, right? Either it's an automatic, oh, I know exactly what it is, or there's this looking back at your childhood or your life and going, I constantly have da 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 da, right? Migraines. I was just gonna say that. Tessa said migraines. I was just gonna say migraines. Migraines are fascinating because my work with migraines has always people can have migraines for different reasons. Okay, medically, of course, they say that, but Marco, I'll get to anxiety in just a sec, but migraines, power, intuition, tends to be female power. Men who get migraines, bringing out their feminine side and owning their feminine side, not being afraid of the feminine, not being scared to show the feminine, not being afraid to, a lot of men, bisexual, those that are out may have different ailments, may not have migraines. Men that are very scared to show that feminine side, to express both sides. It doesn't have to be bisexual. It can just simply be, we all have male and female energy in us, right? Men tend to definitely veer away from that feminine side. But the more men open up to that feminine side, that can help with migraines. Tessa, for you specific, it's your power. Period. End of story. Your intuition. You need to understand who you are and how you work. What is your super sense? What is your superpower? Just freaking own it. For Tessa, I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. Go own it and get back to me later. Marco, anxiety. Anxiety is energy. So even excitement will lead us into anxiety. Okay. We want to move. Anxiety is energy. Anxiety is energy that we are not able to contain, manage. Every single thing that I say will lead you back to a meditation, a daily practice. And I will stand by that. I don't care. Everything can be worked out in your daily practice. And let me tell you why. Because that is when you connect to your consciousness, you connect to spirit, you connect to infinity. All the answers for you are there about your physical body, about what you need, what you don't need. So anxiety is learning how to manage energy, our own energy. Marco, I happen to know Marco, so this is why I'm going to actually respond to him specific as I did Tessa. Marco, you feel other people's energy. You have a very strong intuitive side and you feel other people. And you are trying to balance your own energy with their energy. You got to get a daily practice of meditation. Combined with your physical exercise, that's going to help teach you. It's hard to know when it's your energy or someone else's. And some people like to go around and blame everyone else. Oh, she threw her energy at me and I feel terrible because I felt so much of that energy. And I used to be like that too, where I would blame everything on everyone else's energy. It's our responsibility to manage our energy and manage the other energy around us. And it doesn't mean you manage that person. It means that you have a daily practice that grounds you and then fills you. So when someone comes in and is, as everyone likes to say, sucking your energy, right? They can suck. Sorry, that sounded bad. But you have grounded yourself and you know how to fill your cup. So they can drink, but you know how to fill it. This is why I always say that daily practice fills your cup. And for me, my cup stays full till almost like clockwork till about 4 hours. And then I'm like, I got to go fill up again. And then I need to sit in a meditation, not as long as my morning one, but it just long enough to clear and then refill, then go back out, because people are going to drain your energy because they are not responsible for their own energy. But same goes for you. If you are not responsible for your energy by managing a daily practice, you are going to, someone else is going to come along and be like, God, that guy just sucked all my energy. And you think you don't do it. Like everyone thinks everyone else is sucking everyone else's energy, but no one realizes that they can do it. I freaking have done it to my husband a lot. And I'd be like, when he would first be honest with me about it, I was like, there's no way I am sucking that my energy is sucking you dry. There's no way. And then I was like, oh my God, I wasn't managing my energy. I needed to change things up. Tessa, you got it. Okay, good. Is the aura, Linda Judd's asking, is the aura noisy? For you, Linda, because you're probably hearing an aura, whereas a lot of people see auras. I don't see auras. I don't see them. So Linda, that's actually an incredible question you ask. I never thought of that, of being able to hear an aura, but absolutely, why not? Especially if you are your super sense or your superpower is hearing, then you would hear it. So yes, it is noisy, right? Is this starting to make a little bit of sense? How important it is to tap into your superpower? When you tap into your super sense, you're expanding outside your physical body. You're teaching and reminding yourself that there's more to you. This physical body is nothing. It's like it's nothing. You are consciousness. You are spirit. You can die a billion physical deaths. You will never die. So tap into who that consciousness is as it stepped into this body. A lot of times they refer to it as a body glove. And that gave me a really cool visual when I heard that, a body glove. Because you think of a glove and you're just sticking your hand in that glove, right? The spirit, your consciousness is just stepping inside a body glove. Oh, and now it can move around. Okay. But I can take my spirit, my consciousness out of that body glove, and I'm still here. And when you're not in that body glove, because that body is so restrictive, right? When you are not in that body glove and you're over here, you're power. I mean, you're just solely power. You're just It's not like, oh my God, his consciousness is psychic and I'm not. No, everybody is. Everyone is everything always. Okay. So when you're not in body, you're just this ball of infinite power that can do everything and anything. The second we come into this body, Glove, and it just confines and squeezes, we forget who we are. We forget who we are. Migraines, anxiety, ear pain. It's simply the body trying to process consciousness. And when you learn how to allow that to process, yoga, Marco, power yoga, you would do really, that would do wonders for you. Yoga is a great place to start. If you're like, I refuse to sit in meditation, then start with a yoga class. It doesn't have to be power yoga. It can be the most gentle yoga in the world, right? Tessa teaches yoga, by the way. She's a great teacher. Linda, you've lived with noise in your ears for years. Well, it's just your super sense. That's all it is. Now, I don't say it flippantly, like, who cares? Deal with it. But I also say it like that. I do say it flippantly because I don't want it to be this huge, scary, oh my God thing. Okay, that's your consciousness. That's who you are. So you hear things. Great. Let's start listening, right? Magic. Let me cover magic before we go. I use the word magic. Spirit will guide me to use the word magic versus superpower, super sense. Our magical sense, our essence, our ability to create, to manifest is magical, right? It's magic, our power, our abilities to manifest. But if you don't know that higher consciousness, if you don't understand that your consciousness is what it always is, and physical bodies will come and go, then that magical side of you, that ability to create, to manifest, won't happen. It won't be a thing, you know, because you're stuck in this body that only does certain things, you know, and then when you allow yourself outside of it, all of a sudden, oh, manifestation's not that crazy. Creating what I want isn't that insane. Like, okay, I can do that. But when we're trying to manifest from a purely logical, physical place, listen, it can be done. And it can absolutely be done if you're just looking to monetize your life, right? Make more money. Then the physical approach is the approach. But if you are looking to live a more purposeful life, with a lot of money, then you have to combine the two. Tessa does a free Facebook Live class, Gaining Balance. So that's Tessa Spencer Nordquist. It's Sundays free Facebook Live. Marco, that's a great place for you to start because you can step in, do it as long as you feel comfortable, and then leave. So questions about magic and how we can use our own magic and how you can practice magic by going and getting books on witchcraft, or practicing magic is simply utilizing that super sense to guide you, to move you to where you want to go. And that's what we're in our manifestation on Sunday. That's what we are. That's the whole point of that manifestation class. It's about combining our consciousness and our super senses and our spirit into creating and manifesting a purposeful life. And that purpose-filled life doesn't always look the way we think it'll look or be what we think we want it to be. It always ends up better. But getting us to better, getting us there requires this understanding that goes beyond the physical senses. Good questions for me. Tessa says, for me, at times, the thought of expanding outside of my body feels way less unique and more collective. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Tessa, you get it. You just got to own it and step into it on a regular basis. Yeah, great. Yes. And what's in it for those of you, you know, I know Tessa, and so Tessa has had her experience with death, with loved ones that she has lost. And for those of you that can be another approach to your super sense or your superpower. If you've lost loved ones, more than one, you just have a lifeline where you have a handful of beings that you have lost. You call on them. That's a great way to start trusting your consciousness and your super senses, is to call on people that have passed, or animals. My gosh, for sure, animals, and listen for them. Listen, it's always going to be subtle. It's always going to be subtle. And it's going to be usually something the body experiences. Sometimes you can't differentiate, am I hearing, seeing, feeling? But utilize lost, those that you've lost, pets or humans, to help you really harness in your super sense. That's going to be key for you. This Sunday, we are talking about action. So this Sunday with manifestation, it's actually going to be, we're going to move just a little more to the logical side. We can't leave out the logic 100%. We can't leave out the physical act. We're in physical bodies, so we have to incorporate that into manifestation. But it's just a small percentage of it. It is not the entire thing. So we'll talk more about that on Sunday. Yes, that is why you're here. Linda, do you plan on doing Thursday for a while? I hope I can come and participate like a circle. Yeah, I plan on doing Thursdays for a while. Actually, I'm in the next either next Thursday or the Thursday after, I'm going to bring on a numerologist. She has a numerology deck. So we'll do a pick a card with her deck. And then I'll give my reading, and then she'll step in and give her meanings behind her cards. And so, yeah, I plan on doing this weekly. Okay, questions. I feel like we covered a lot. So Sunday, 12:30, manifestation. Then, of course, Sundays, 1:30, my show. You can ask questions, bring about yourself, love, career, all of that. I do pet readings there. And I'm going to jump onto TikTok and Insta right after this at 7:00. So if you're feeling like more spiritual talk, we're going to keep going. Okay. Thank you very much, you guys. If I don't see you again on Insta or TikTok, I'll see you Sunday, 12:30, then Sunday at 1:30, then again Sunday at 7. Just spend a whole Sunday with me. Questions, if I missed you, just DM me. Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you in a couple days.